All right. Let's go ahead, clap it up. Good to be back in the building. Good to see y'all brothers in the building. Start off by saying salam, y'all Bashim Yashai Brakathum to all the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bashim Yashai to all the sisters. This is the Thursday night scripture breakdown class for ISUPK Northern California, Police Officer 5000 to Sarpacot. We in the building in Richmond, California. If you in the area in Northern California, the Bay Area, tap in with our school, 2213 McDonald Avenue. Come through, learn the Bible, get all your problems fixed in the ISUPK. Get cut if you want to battle, whatever you want to do. We here, we in the building. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. Any questions in the room? Go ahead up.
Common sir, if I may get a breakdown on Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7, where it speaks on the dragon and his angel.
Got somebody at the door too.
If I may, a topic that's been coming up real recent for me was fallen angels, and in this context, is this considered fallen angels, and what are fallen angels according to the Bible, sir?
Okay. Go ahead.
You want me to read, sir?
Yeah.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Right. Keep going. Yep.
Verse 8. And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Right. Keep going.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan,
right,
which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Right. So this reveals who it's talking about right here. Right. Who is this talking about in the verse? What you just read right there in verse, what's that? Verse 9? Yep.
So like the oppressor, sir?
Correct. All right. What is it saying?
So like you saying in verse 9 or?
Yeah. What is it saying in verse 9?
The great dragon was cast out. That was serpent. That was so cast out into the earth, I'm guessing means like as far as their rulership, it's talking about their rulership.
There you go, get a brother in. Right. So what this is talking about is talking about your oppressor, that old serpent. Where do we hear about the serpent? In Genesis. The serpent came to Eve and told her that if you get this knowledge, then you will be like a god. You will be you have power for these things. And so that's the first appearance of we see the spirit of what we call a white man, where he's deceiving and using lies and deception in order to gain power. That's been his tactics from the beginning. So when we go back up to your verse again, go to verse 7. Right? And these are visions, right? And so when you see dragon, it's not talking about a literal dragon. No one believes that this is a literal dragon. But when it comes to understanding these visions, people want to take the angels as meaning the angels going to war with the Lord, right? But go ahead and read.
Verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Right.
And the dragon fought and his angels.
Right. So we know the great dragon, the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and the angels were cast out with him. So this is just saying that the oppressor, the so-called white man, who is the devil in the earth today, he is going to get casted out after fighting with the Lord. Michael, the angels, his angels are the powers in the earth, the rulers, the governments, the militaries, all the people that do business with the oppressor. These angels that have powers in the earth, because the word angel means power. When you go back into the ancient Hebrew, you'll see it says like um, Elohim, Allahayim, the powers. At different times, it'll mean the Most High. Other times, it will mean the angels. It's talking about in plural, like the angels, Allahayim, right? So that word just means powers or messengers. You know what I mean? So that's what this is talking about. The people that rule or helping to rule with the oppressor, they're gonna lose their power, right? Now, when it comes to this fallen angels, that's usually what it means. It's either I think I've seen a few of these precepts where it talks about these angels that were cast out of heaven. Sometimes it's talking about the children of Israel, that we were in a state of rulership and we lost our kingdom by following Satan. And so we lost our power. So if you find different precepts, you can pull them. If you look up the ones that say fallen angels or something like that, then we can go over those individually and see which ones in context are us, which ones in context are your oppressors. Right. But there are no fallen angels that are disobeying the Lord and going against the Most High. That is not what is being said in the Bible, which is what Christians and conspiracy theorists and weed heads read when they hear these things. You know what I mean? This is literally angels falling from heaven, going against the Lord. And that image you be seeing, or like that movie, what was that movie where the dude was trying to kill, I guess it was the Messiah or something. These angels was going to war. It was Michael versus, what's the movie? You know,
Legion.
Yeah, Legion. This is a good movie. It's good entertainment, but that's not what the Bible is saying. And they've created these whole, breakdowns about fallen angels when this has nothing to do with that. Angels obey the Lord. Demons obey the Lord. Satan, his angel, obeys the Lord. He doesn't have the power to go against them. So anything that's fallen is a man. Just like in Genesis when it says the sons of God. It's not talking about angels in that context. It's talking about men that didn't do what the Lord said to do. Yeah. Is that to what? All right, most on Christ. Any other questions? Yeah, another one. We'll take Nyax and then we'll get back to
Slide, sir. Where do we get the devil is the deceiver? Is that in Greek or something?
what do you mean? Or when we say that the word devil means deceiver?
Yes, kind of on top. Where do we get that?
That's a good question. We'd have to go into and see in the lexicon in the Strong Concordance. We can go and look and see where it says that versus the Greek, where you get the actual definition that is deceiver. But right here, it defines itself in that verse that we just read. That it says in verse 9, it says, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world." So that's also why we say the devil is a deceiver and a liar. John 8 and 44, it says he's the father of lies. So the devil, by definition, is a liar. You know what I mean? A deceiver. But yeah, if I may, we can go look into that a little bit more as far as the lexicon and all that. Yeah. Now I see the brother Matam Yaz got some questions of what we were just talking about online. Let me go ahead and address what he was saying. So he said, Salakia. So Edom is also Satan at the same time. Edom is the embodiment of the spirit of Satan. Satan is an angel, but if you were to manifest his spirit in a man, that's the oppressor. You understand? And this is why they always have a love for worshiping Satan. You know what I mean? It just vibes with them going against the Lord, going against the Most High. They want to do something evil and wicked. This is why going to tonight's topic, Halloween, they just love anything that is just spooky, evil, sinister. That's the spirit of the oppressor. You understand? It's Satan. I think let's see how does fallen mean they disobey God. Yes, but they're not angels, meaning these men that are fallen, they're disobeying God. They're going against the Most High. Go ahead, Ashar.
So I can just to add on to the question I was asking, like, even though it says in that specific verse they fought against, well, not fought against, but they fought like
these angels fought against Michael and his angels.
Right. Like basically, it still means that Satan was still doing his job as.
No, so this context is the white. This Satan is the white man. This oppressor. This is the spirit of Satan in the white man. It's talking about one person. That dragon, that old serpent was deceiving the world. Satan. This is all talking about a man at this point. It's not talking about Satan the angel. Yeah. So that's where the confusion comes from.
Right. I did have one more question.
No sweat, please.
In Hebrews.
So we're here for.
In Hebrews, the first chapter.
Brother, you just got to believe the word. The spirit has to be on you. If you have any questions, you question in the Lord. That's the Christian church, boy. Hey, they get in the jam. They start trying to gaslight you. They're the original gaslighters. Go ahead.
In the first chapter, second verse, where it talks of the worlds. In this context, does it mean worlds as in universe, or does it mean worlds? And can we use this to solidify our breakdown to the John 3:16, which all these Christians want to make it believe like it's like I guess talking about the whole everybody in the earth or everybody in the world. Is this talking more on a broader perspective, everything, or is this talking about different worlds within our world?
Go ahead.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Go ahead and read it.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 1 and verse 2. Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, whom by also he made the world.
Right. So this would be in the context of the societies and things of that nature. This would be leaning to that because this is talking about an heir of all things. They say Christ will have many crowns on his head because he is going to take control of all these different nations. You see what I'm saying? But yeah. So that's that shit right there. All right. Anything else? That's a good question. All right, cool. Let's get into tonight's topic. Then we're gonna clap it up one more time. Man, I had a different topic. You know what I mean? What happened to? Let me see these questions. Had a different topic at first. Somebody said sunglasses in the scriptures. I never heard that one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to find. He said somebody in the school said that. I don't know. He did say that. Oh snap! Okay, I'm gonna have to get that breakdown. Okay. Like not sunglasses, but like spectacles to see. Oh, son in Christ. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hear that breakdown. But when it comes to today, like I said, I had to switch up the topic and go from a regular class to forgetting that things should always be in season. And this is that time, you know what I mean? Tomorrow is Halloween. We so locked in the truth, I really forget the day is coming, or I hear about it, I see it. You know, we know people in the world is involved with Halloween, but I don't really know the day that it is. You know what I mean? It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is a perfect time to go into this topic about Halloween, about Dios de los Muertos. Does anybody know the history of either or of them? Okay. What you got? What is this is our resident. This is correct. What is Dios de los Muertos? Go ahead.
No, I mean that's the Day of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the origin.
Mm-hmm.
Got the origin exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it just had to do with like they say honoring the dead
Mm-hmm.
by you know, like I guess kind of just having a day to celebrate for them or whatever.
Right. So yeah, these holidays or holidays, I want to say, go hand in hand. The history of it is so first one we got Halloween. It comes from something called, it's spelled like Sam Hain, but it's pronounced Wayne or something. Sowin, which comes from the Celts. The Celtic people, you know what I mean, over there in Ireland, Scotland, whatever, UK area, they had this culture that has become a part of American culture because of the Roman Catholic Church tying these two festivals together. So the Roman Catholic Church has something called Hallows Eve. It used to be in May. And then these people, the Celtics people, were celebrating the fall equinox, right? It's like two different times of the year. You got the fall and the spring equinox when the days are getting darker and the days are getting brighter. They keep these things for their harvests. And so this time they would gather all their harvest in the Bay Area. You know, when it comes to like growing trees or whatever, they call it Croptober. You know what I mean? It's the biggest time. The price of weed is cheap as hell right now because all the crops are coming in. And for the rest of the year, they are going to go off of this crop. And then when you get towards the end of the year, like past spring, summer, then it becomes a drought. You know what I mean? So this time they would gather all their harvests up to try to make it through the winter, and they would have a celebration for having a good harvest, and they would have these parties, these festivals, they drink and do all these things for these days. And they also have these stories that since it's becoming darker at night, the spirit world, the portals are opening up. So the ghosts from the other side of the spirit world are having more access to the human world, and you will start to see spirits and souls and blah, 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 blah. So this is why people started to wear these masks to scare off the ghosts or etc. Right? You all have any ideas and why that's where the lantern comes from too? Because it was dark, they're putting these candles inside these roots or these different, like the pumpkin, whatever, and using it to see at night. And they might cut holes in it, and then this is where you get the jack-o'-lantern. All these different things come from bobbing apples. I was looking at that. It was some outrageous stuff. I don't even want to talk about. I don't know where the hell these Edomites get up these little traditions. But what is it about the spirit realm and these ghosts and these dressing up to scare them? What do y'all think that really was about? What was really going on? Go ahead up.
So like this, sounds like superstition to me.
Okay. That's a part of it. It's a little bit deeper than that. You got to think about, because these people, it's superstition, but they have some real fears too. And why were they getting these fears? I'll tell y'all in a minute, but we'll give your brother one more shot. Let's see what you got.
Was this meant to throw people off, like just to make people celebrate or do other things on purpose, like to practice other practices on purpose, to make idols and stuff, things of that nature.
Okay, the idols part, that's a little different, but I'm gonna just explain this part with the ghost. What was going on is that people were waiting for this time of year to go out and do evil. The same way it is today with Halloween or any other big festival, when people are out in these big groups and crowds. Think about it, 4th of July. Cats are waiting for that night because they know they can hide the gunfire amongst the fireworks. So if you catch your ops slipping, you're more likely to get away with it because the police are already spread out. They already looking for so much going on at one time. They can't keep up with it. You hear how many reports of gunshots are coming in that night, and the majority of them is fireworks. You see what I'm saying? Some old lady over here, I heard this. Some old lady over here, somebody paranoid, somebody from a Vietnam vet. He underneath the table sweating. You know what I mean? Got PTSD. He calling in, everybody calling in, dogs is barking. Now you really go and run a drill and then you knock somebody down. That's the type of people who are waiting for Halloween, Hallows Eve to go out and do evil, rob somebody, rape somebody, rape a woman. They getting drunk and drinking and being up all night. That's the night to do it. You understand? Kill somebody, hang somebody, whatever it is. And so now they hear all these stories of this stuff happening. And they're like, okay, it's ghosts out here, it's goblins out here, these things. And that's really where this stuff was coming from, right? And that's why these holidays have been used historically to been used by our oppressor to fulfill their bloodlust. Go ahead up.
It's like when you just said that, I think it's heavy because that just popped up in my mind. It's like robberies are a lot more common around Halloween.
Right. Right.
Because it's more, I guess, normal to see people in masks walking around.
Exactly. And that matter of fact, I think I sent an article to you. Let's go ahead and pull that up. And then somebody give me Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Oh no, maybe I didn't send it to you yet. I better send it to you. This one. Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Dios de los Muertos. Matamya said it was a day to honor our old ones, our relatives that passed on. That's another thing that comes from the ancient Aztecs. So the Aztecs used to have these different days. They would honor the dead and honor the people that passed on. When the Catholic Church came in, they put that Halloween or the Dios de los Muertos together with the old Aztecs traditions and moved it to this day as the same way. So it's very similar in that they chose this equinox, the end of October, early November, in order to do these celebrations as a way to, what's the word? We're going to get to it. There's a couple words we got tonight. Vocabulary words would be syncretism. Syncretism. I always say this word wrong. But they would synchronize or put together two or three religions, in order to get the people involved in following the different people in charge. But I'll bring that out. We'll go to those words. Give me Amos chapter 5, verse 21.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 21. I hate.
I what?
I hate.
I what?
I hate. And I despise your feast days.
Right.
And I will not smell in your solemn assembly.
Right. So the Lord doesn't hate Halloween because there's actually ghosts running around or these people are getting any spiritual power from, some entities to do these things. It's the fact that the people that look up to these things partake in all this evil. You understand? And we'll give you some examples right here. So read that article right there up. Did it come up?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
The collagen.
Mm-hmm.
The scariest thing about Halloween. Sexual
Read
assault.
it nice and loud up. If you can, if you need somebody else to read, if you're feeling under the weather. All right.
The collagen. The scariest thing about Halloween. Sexual assault statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I read the editor's note?
No, you don't gotta read that.
From witches to ghosts to blood-sucking demons, Halloween is a holiday of fear.
Mm-hmm.
It's what sells costumes of all our favorite popular pop culture monsters.
Mm-hmm.
It's what gets us going to the theaters for the newest horror films during the spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is the nucleus of Halloween.
Right.
But the scariest part is not the films or the costumes. It's the statistics.
Right. So it's like you got all these movies, you know what I mean? Like, I think about these scary movies, Akin. I wish I had millions and billions of dollars to make movies, man. That if I could just put the ideas out there and create movies, I would do it all the time, because you see the movie, they got the big movie, Halloween, they got Jason, they got Freddy Krueger, all these other new movies, countless Saw and thousands of other movies that are based on horror films. They're like, that's not the scariest thing. The haunted house that people go to, little kids, the fake people hopping out, that's not scary. The real scary is this cat really got murdered tonight. This girl really got assaulted tonight. This kid really got abused tonight. That's a real life horror movie. Damn, the stuff you're watching on the screen, that's made up. The real life is way more scary. And that's why I said, like, if I had the money or whatever to make a movie, I would just go and get old stories from Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, from the plantation to the conquistadors to the delectable Negro to Jim Crow to the 1980s to last week in the ICE detention center. And the real villain, the real horror film is the lives that we live. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard different stories about stuff in slavery. I'm like, that sounds like a goddamn horror movie. You know what I'm saying? It's way worse because it's reality. You know what I mean? But keep reading on. Mm-hmm.
Halloween takes place during a time when sexual assault on college campuses is more prevalent.
Damn.
More than 50% of college sexual assaults occurred either in August, September, October, or November.
Right. So this time of year, the odds of a person getting assaulted it's gonna happen either this time, half of the times it's happening right in these months. Read.
According to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network.
Damn.
This coupled with the fact that the culture around Halloween.
The what? Hold on.
This coupled with the fact that the culture.
The what?
Around the culture.
The what?
The culture.
The culture. Read.
Around Halloween can lend itself to environments that increase the risk of sexual assault.
Damn.
Makes the issue all the more concerning.
Right. Like, the culture of Halloween is turning up. The culture of Halloween is staying up all night. The culture of Halloween is do something evil. The culture of Halloween for now, like, even me, I remember when I was a kid, for the older cats, Halloween was for kids for the main part. They might have had adult Halloween parties. You see it in the movies a little bit. And it was like, okay, you dress up like this character, this person dress up like a mummy, and that was a Halloween party. You know what I mean? Somewhere between 2003 and now, Halloween is like prostitute attire for women. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the night of whoredom. I don't know when they learned how to slut out every creature. You know what I mean? You can dress up like an Eminem, the Eminem girl. You can dress up like the slutty Eminem girl. You can dress up like Sailor Moon. You can dress up like the horror version of Sailor Moon. You can dress up like the little girl from Scooby-Doo. I forget her name. You can dress up like the horror version of this girl. You know what I mean? Like, they hoard out every goddamn thing that kids watch, that kids love, that kids grew up on. They turned it into something else. And the spirit behind that is a culture that breeds a lot of deviance. You see what I'm saying? And it's always interesting that the oppressor, that's why I say the white man is the devil, the deceiver, that he convinces women that empowerment deals with them sexualizing themselves. Like, they feel like they get free by pleasing men. You know what I'm saying? Like, who else would love to see women run around with their ass out more than men? You know what I'm saying? But you doing this to fight against men? Make that make sense. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Like, how is that? I hate white people. Let me become more white. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some Patagonia. You know what I'm saying? To show that I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Let me start putting raisins in my potato salad. Show them, Mr. White Man, no seasoning for me. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Usually when you go to war with something, when you go against something, you do the opposite of what they want you to do. That is the same spirit we talking about when that old serpent went to the Eve and told her, you will be a god. This is going to empower you. Take your clothes off. That's going to make you free. You understand? The Lord wants you to put clothes on. Oh, you a slave. Take your clothes off and do OnlyFans to be free and let everybody see you and make millions and billions of dollars off of you. That would be the key to your freedom. Come on now. All right? Well, let's keep going. Salaki, I digress. The brother said Sailor Moon. He laughing at that. Yeah. Sailor Moon was damn near dressing like a whore. That was a bad example. Naturally. But go ahead. Well, yeah, Kai. There's some interesting stuff right here.
While the holiday may be known for some of the more lighthearted traditions, on a college campus, it is associated with parties.
Hold up. I think you said when. Maybe I skipped down a little bit. Yeah, my fault. Keep going.
News 10 ABC suggests adults between 18 and 34 years old are the most prevalent Halloween celebrators, and alcohol is frequently associated with these celebrations.
Yeah, so now I thought Halloween was for kids. Now it's an adult celebration. Keep going, and alcohol.
When we look at the statistics regarding the role alcohol plays in sexual assault on campus, this raises concern. According to alcohol.org, at least 50% of student sexual assaults involve alcohol.
Right.
And 1/3 of sexual assaults, the aggressor is intoxicated.
Right. Now, keep going. This is where it gets key, right? So these is drunk students, and they are assaulting people, assaulting women mainly. Read.
When we talk specifically about party culture and how it plays a role in this phenomenon, it's worth nothing that
noting.
It's worth noting that students in fraternities are more likely to perpetrate sexual assault than non-fraternity men.
Good night. So what's going on in fraternity culture? This is very interesting. People that are in fraternities are the ones that run society. Y'all know that, right? A lot of the governors and lawyers and doctors, all of these men, you go into the office, they part of some fraternity. And this is talking about these white college boys are getting drunk and then assaulting women. You see what I'm saying? This is what they've been doing for years. There's nothing new under the sun. Now you get to understand what the Celts were doing. You see what I'm saying? The ancient Celts were the same thing. It was a video. You speaking about you with 6'7". You know, we could give a damn about Esau. You know what I mean? But I saw a video of this Edomite girl. She was trying to do her report, and some Edomite was behind her yelling, 6'7", 6'7". He was just drunk and fall on the ground. She was in tears. She's trying to do her report and couldn't focus because he's just being belligerent. And everybody's in the comments like, we're supposed to be the ignorant one. No one checks these type of white boys. And that spirit on him, he looked like he was in the fraternity. We all know that spirit, that cat that woo, woo, yelling, wild, drunk, like an animal. And these cats are behind closed doors with Susie or Meredith or Jane, and they're drunk, and Jane don't want to give it up. They're taking that. You understand? This is the culture of Halloween, and this is most high Christ. This is the first time I've seen the brother stand up. Kwam Yashala. Kwam Yashala. All right, man. Young warrior here walking now. We didn't scare the brother, man. Most high Christ, man. Young warrior, man. But yeah, that's what they were doing back then. Let's keep reading now.
Not only are people partying more on Halloween, but they're partying in costume, which may add to the risk factor.
Damn.
According to a study conducted for the Independent, 55% of men believe the more revealing the clothes the woman wears, the more likely it is that she will be harassed or assaulted.
Right. So this is an argument we hear, right? Women hate to hear this argument, and both are right, and both are wrong. Meaning, 55% of men believe if this woman is dressed like a whore, she's more likely to be sexually assaulted. And the women are saying, just because I'm dressed like this doesn't justify being sexually assaulted, which is right. Because this woman is dressed like a whore, does that mean I become a rapist? You see what I'm saying? Like in Israel, in our culture, that doesn't justify in your mind doing something evil. Someone else's behavior doesn't justify you doing something. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, this person smoked crack. I should be able to rob him. Like that's crazy, man, being in the world. I forget about these different stories, man, but we was riding. I'm riding with one of my partners in East Oakland, man. And we leaving from the village and we smoking, and a crackhead pulled up on the car. It's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Partner opened the door. He like, man, I got this weed for sale. You know what I'm saying? Like, buy this bag for me. You know what I mean? He look at the bag. He like, this is some bammer. Then drove off and just robbed the knock for no reason. Then threw the weed out the wood, like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even want it. He just mad. He was offended that he even offered him some bad weed. You know what I mean? Like, we justify these things in our mind. Like, it's okay to treat someone a certain way because of the way they are. It's not right. But go ahead, Ak. In a sense, you should not sin based on what someone is doing. That's what I'm saying. To be clear, you cannot sin against someone because they are a sinner. Go ahead, Ak.
Sir, I was just gonna make a comment saying like what you're saying is so heavy because it's not just the Christians, the fake Israelites. Anyone outside the UPK,
right?
Like they're gonna tell you you can sell drugs to a white woman,
right?
Or slogging. There's more something more pertaining to the subject,
right?
But whatever the thing is, whatever that sin is, they're not gonna hold themselves to that standard, which is what we have in the truth.
Right. Yeah, they justify, get a brother here. They justify assaulting women. You understand? And heathens and all these different things in their mind because of their own lust. They want to justify these things. And a lot of times especially with fake Israelites, the things that they hate, they learn to hate our people. And it's really certain things that they hate about themselves. Because no matter what that I come out of the world, I might hate the things that this brother is doing as far as concerning our people. I may hate this sister that she is dressing like this or that she is being a whore, but I don't hate that sister because we were doing the same things and dealing with the same kind of women and doing all, you know what I'm saying? But they start to hate our people, and in their mind, it allows them to justify doing evil against them. You know what I mean? This is the spirit of the Sadducees and Pharisees, that they think that their love for God and love for these laws, statutes, and commandments allows them to harm and hurt other people. Like no one was supposed to be like, damn, this nigga did this. I'm glad I get to, you know what I mean, go and harm these people. They were like, ooh, they eating corn on the Sabbath. Let's go kill them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't wait. They don't care about any of the other things outside of this law says that, let's do this, and not even looking at the story around it. But anybody have anything? It's lucky. Thought I saw a hand. All right, no sweat. Let's keep going. Oh no, to make it clear, the point I'm saying about this 55%. Now the other side with the white man, in the white man's mind, half of the people, almost 60% of the people, I know it's higher amongst them, believe it's true that women will get assaulted based on the clothes they're wearing. So inside of that percentage, there's a white man in his mind that says, she's dressed like this, I should assault her. Y'all see how quick that happens? Like, if half of them believe, read it again. Y'all, they don't understand that this is what's happening. They're saying, oh, all these women want to dress like whores for Halloween? That means she want to get raped tonight. That's what they're saying. Go ahead and read it again. According to a study
Conducted for the Independent, 55% of men believe the more revealing the clothes a woman wears, is more likely it is that she will be harassed or assaulted.
Right. So it's more likely she's going to be assaulted. Who's going to do the assaulting? Me. They like, yeah, somebody got to do it. You see what I'm saying? She wanted it. You see what I mean? That's where their mind goes. They create this demon hops on them, and they say, you know what? She would never come outside if she didn't want to be assaulted. She would have never dressed like that. And then on the flip side, they convincing all these women to dress like that. They think they just having fun. And they're like, no matter what I wear, a man should not try to assault me because of what I'm wearing. Yes, you're right. But you don't understand that doesn't matter what is right or wrong. These people are still going to do this. You see what I'm saying? It's like the story I always use. I don't know if some of y'all brothers heard me say that before. Like a sister I used to talk to in the world, she was like, yeah, I went to this club and the men in there was grabbing my butt while I'm walking around. You know what I'm saying? Grabbing on my ass. I'm like, man, that's messed up. You know what I mean? It's wrong. You shouldn't go to that club anymore. I should not have to be able to go to the club. They should keep their hands to themselves. Yes, you're right. But until you have somebody that's going to enforce this rule, you're going to go to that club and they're going to touch your ass. So if you want to avoid getting your ass touched, you shouldn't go to that club. In a perfect world, they wouldn't do that. But guess what? We don't live in a perfect world. So you're going to have to make adjustments to those men as opposed to wishing the world was a certain way. And that's what they do. I shouldn't get assaulted based on how I'm dressed. You shouldn't, but you are. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen. Because in this man's mind, he's convinced himself that that's justification for doing it. And it can be fake or it cannot be fake. The real thing is every year, these women are getting assaulted. So you tell me which way, what are we going to do? You're going to just keep saying, I hope the world's a certain way? I hope I shouldn't have to have a gun when I'm going to this neighborhood over here. You can hope all you want. You're going to be dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to wear this. I wish I could walk around this blood neighborhood wearing this Crip paraphernalia and nobody, the world, it shouldn't be like that, brother. Yeah, okay. Whatever, nigga. Niggas beating your ass. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, what you doing over here? You can hope the world to be the way you want it to be. It doesn't mean it is that way. All right? Let's keep going. No sweat.
Additionally, Halloween is a time that makes hiding one's identity socially acceptable,
Damn.
as anyone can wear a costume that obstructs their identity. It becomes much easier for someone to perpetrate a crime when they feel as though they have been they have some sense of autonomy.
Right. And anonymity. So they can remain anonymous. People feel easier, like they can commit a crime. Like you said, robberies go up because it's easier to get away with a robbery because everyone's wearing a mask. Go ahead.
High school,
Mm-hmm.
during the time of Halloween, there were some boys that would use it as an excuse to put on a dress.
Damn. That's
So like that,
he's taking
right
it there.
there.
Yeah. He's taking it there. Speak on it. Doc. What does that mean? What?
It's like it, sir. It's just like they see it as like a pass to be able to get away with doing this thing that is seen as evil, or seen that even. It's like this was a Christian school that I was going to.
Right.
And so like they would everybody was okay with it.
Right.
About these three boys coming to this little Halloween, and it was a Halloween party at a Christian school.
Exactly.
With boys wearing dresses.
Right.
And like no one saw any problem with it. It's like, it's okay. They just put that playing around. They saw it as a pass people to be effeminate.
Right.
To show their actual nature.
Exactly. Now that's heavy. You know what I mean? Like you have to think about that level. You're pumping all of these movies about Jason, all these movies about Freddy Krueger, all these movies about killing and people snatching people up. And then you don't think in some person's mind, they're like, oh, this is the time to act this out. This is the time to live it. This is the time where I get the pass to be a deviant, to be evil, to rob, to kill, to be a homosexual, whatever it is that they lust they want to do. This is that night. So imagine this hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago with no cameras. And you in the woods in middle of Ireland with the Celts. They are going many that night. They're like, it's the ghost. They got to tell their kids some story. All those screams you hear, those are ghosts. No, it's a goddamn rapist white man across town. You know what I'm saying? Taking women, you know what I mean? Taking children, killing people. Because this is the night that they feel that they can, to get the pass. You know what I mean? Purge, whatever. Go ahead. Somebody else saw a hand. Go ahead up.
So, sir, if I may, what you're saying is so heavy because there's a spirit of, just in general, of homosexuality over that type of the culture itself.
Right.
Like nowadays, when you watch any type of show about a serial killer, they are always a homosexual. They're always a man doing some type of weird stuff with another man wearing a women's clothes, doing something. Right. Like, that just lets you know that even they realize that this time of like a spookiness, of taboo time, is a homosexual spirit.
Right.
Directly related to it.
Right. Damn right. Yep. That's it, man. That's what's going on. And once again, I think I said that before, like, people had a big conspiracy theory when Travis Scott had a big concert and a lot of people died at the concert. And they were like, it was a sacrifice for the Illuminati. And I remember General Muhammad said something so heavy. He was like, that was 10 people that died at that concert. And people was trying to look into the signs and see this on the stage and say, see, I told you this was a plan. So people could die here today. But no one looks at Halloween every year when all the murders increase that this is a sacrifice to Satan. Right. That they're doing a blood sacrifice on New Year's Eve. They're doing a blood sacrifice on 4th of July. Right. They're doing a blood sacrifice on Memorial Day or whatever holiday that people celebrate. And all these crimes increase and death increase and drunk driving increase and sexual assaults increase. That's not an Illuminati conspiracy. Right. Every goddamn year, it's like clockwork. They literally made the news this year and said 4th of July in New York. This is the first year in damn near 100 years that someone didn't get shot in New York. It made the news that nobody did die this time. Like, that was an anomaly because everybody knows it's normal. Go ahead, Op. Let's get down, man. Yeah.
Like it, sir.
Sign Christ for
I'll talk a little bit off topic about the sacrifice. Where does that come from? This idea that throughout every generation, throughout the ages, there have been times where mass casualties are had,
Mm-hmm.
or just oppression in general, just destruction is just brought across the earth, and they call it a sacrifice, and they say it happens so every so often. Where does that come from?
Well, okay, let me see if I'm trying to understand your question. You like, can you give me an example of what you're saying?
Like they say, like the genocides that happened in Africa were at a time a sacrifice. What happened in America with the Native Americans was a sacrifice.
Who is saying these things?
So long as I would say it's mostly like a cult Christian, like
Okay,
Judeo-Christian.
they're
They
going
would
to
like call out. I guess it's borderline conspiracy theory.
right. Okay,
But they would say like these mass event or these mass events of mass casualties
right.
are sacrifices.
Right. And your question is where are those conspiracy theories coming from?
Like, does
Is
it
it
any
any-
relation to the Bible
Okay.
of these things happening and like the white man continuously committing them?
Let me think. These people always doing these things because there is, documentation as far as when they talk about giving. That's one of the precepts we'll get to. Matter of fact, let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 33. Where they talk about offering up children to Moloch. You understand? So those type of sacrifices, they've always been these demonic things that people do in order to appease their God. You understand? Like if you go into study what voodoo is about, you know what I mean? They always doing a blood sacrifice or some goat, some lambs, some chickens, just different things. Humans are a part of that too. That's the difference. You know what I mean? Our God, we had different sacrifices that we did. It's like a barbecue. We grilling. We losing something that's valuable. We giving it to the priest. Make sure the priest eat. We paying our taxes for the things that we done wrong. These people are trying to kill a goat to make sure their crops grow. They trying to kill this baby, you understand, to appease their God for whatever reason. These things, they have these demons on them. But when it comes to a mass murder, I can't think of anything offhand biblically saying that these people were doing it for that. You know what I mean? The oppressor is doing these genocides to gain power. And if that is appeasing Satan, yes, in some way. But it's not like they're rounding up people on a big scale just to kill them. They're rounding them up on a big scale to gain money and power and wealth. You know what I mean? So 6, 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, take it how you want to. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
So you said 2 Chronicles
33 and verse 1.
33 and verse 1. The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 33 and verse 1. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 55 years in Jerusalem.
Right.
But did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, like unto the abominations of the earth of the heathen.
Right.
Whom the Lord hath cast out before the children of Israel.
Right. So these heathens that lived in our land, the Lord kicked them out to give us the land. This cat gets in charge, starts bringing those things back in, starts doing those things, those abominations. He started bringing them into our country, to our nation. Keep reading.
Verse 3. For he built again the high places which Hezekiah, his father, had broken down.
Yeah.
And he reared up altars for Baalim. And he made groves and worshiped all the hosts of heaven and served them.
Right. So once again, these groves, me and the brother talking about a place they call out here called Bohemian Grove. Y'all heard about that in Northern California? You go into the conspiracies, man. Those things they're valid. You know what I mean? There is a place called Bohemian Grove in Northern California, in the Redwoods, where these Edomites go out and worship Baal, worship Molech, and act like they're doing a sacrifice, and then they come back down and they rule over California, rule over the country presidents, all these things. It's the same thing they did back then. These groves, these gardens, these high places. Everyone knows that that Mormon temple in Oakland. You can almost see it from anywhere when you're in the East Bay. It's up in a high place. They always would worship and put their things in these high places because it's like they're close to God. You know what I'm saying? In their mind, they think the higher you up, the higher you are, you look down upon the people, and that you're in charge and you have power. So they would build these things up. We came in and destroyed all these things. This bastard came in and started bringing it all back. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 4. He built altars in the house of the Lord, whereof the Lord had said, in Jerusalem shall my name be forever.
Damn.
And he built altars for all the hosts of heaven in the two courts of the house of the Lord.
Right. So he's using our place, our temple, and bringing in these other things into it. Keep going.
And he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom.
Right. So go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Is he taking on the culture of the Romans and the Greeks?
This is before then. So this is ancient Babylon. All these roots, when they talk about Baal, it's Mesopotamia. But yeah, exactly. Mesopotamia, Babylon. This is before the Greeks and Romans were even on the scene. And that's also going to tie into a few things that we're going to go into next. So I'm going to have a couple things to go into concerning how these things have been passed down. I remember learning from Commander General Hanna, he always talks about Baal. Baal is the chief enemy of the Lord, of Yahweh. And he always comes back up. They find different ways to bring him back. And the Christian church today is the home of Baal. That's who they worship in the Christian church. And it's always been this battle, always been this war that either the prophets of the Lord fight against and the rest of the people keep trying to bring forth. You understand? So they'll bring him in through Halloween. They'll bring him in through Christmas. They're going to bring him in through Thanksgiving, whatever it is. It always leads back to Baal somehow, always leads back to Molech and Ishtar and Horus and Zeus and Jupiter. Whatever it is, they keep switching up the names, but it's this same spirit that's been around, right? And when it says he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley, this is not only talking about these men that were sacrificing children to these different gods, but it's the same way today where people give up their children into these Halloween. Like, why are they parents breaking and even if they think it's wrong, letting their kids celebrate it? Because they don't want the kid to be left out. You don't want that kid to be left out. You got to tell that child that, damn that candy. We can get candy any time of the year. This candy comes from Satan. This is evil candy. Go ahead up.
So they'll say, I'm doing it for the kids.
Right.
For the kids.
Yeah. That same woman asked him to get a double McDouble. You ain't got no McDouble money. They ain't doing nothing for the kids all of a sudden. But when it comes to Halloween, now you got to do it for the kids. How about you stay with that man for the kids? You can't do that. How about you get off of drugs for the kids? You can't do that. How about, you know what I mean? It's so many different things that people can do for the kids, but it's so convenient and easy to give them some candy or let them go talk to strangers for the kids. You know what I mean? Even Captain Soccer War, I'm watching the class. He was like, these little candies and stuff, they make so much money off of these days that they selling you an outfit on one day of the year. You wearing it one time. You know what I'm saying? You go, I'm buy some jeans. I'm gonna wear them till they holy jeans. You know what I mean? You're gonna rock that. No, not for Halloween. They making money off of that. These little candies. When do you ever buy a little micro mini Snickers other than now? Them little sweet tart little candies that come in. I don't even know where to buy them outside of this time of year. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things, candy corn only pops up around this time of year. Their whole industry is based off of one day. You know what I mean? And that is, they're using the kids as a way to manipulate people. You're giving up your kid to this holiday, and it's really benefiting your oppressor. Right. You understand? You're giving them, funding them millions of dollars. We could go in here and march and talk about Black Lives Matter. They killed Sonia Massey, but no one wants to separate when it comes to enriching these people that are doing this stuff. You know what I mean? But keep going. But yeah, he was one of the men in our nation that pushed the same type of spirit. Keep going. Also, he observed
times and used enchantments and used witchcraft and dealt with a familiar spirit and with wizards. He wrought much evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. And he set a carved image, the idol which he had made in the house of God, of which God had said to David and to Solomon his son, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen before all the tribes of Israel, I will put my name forever.
Right. So that's it on that. Like this cat brought in all these things that the Lord said we're not supposed to do. Enchantments, witchcraft, you understand? The drugs, all these things go hand in hand. These wizards, it's not no secret powers they getting from some force. It's the evil things that come along with these cultures. Go ahead. Selling you, I'm talking to your great grandmother. Right next door, they got a psychic right next door. You know what I'm saying? And they're making money off of the people in this community, black and brown folks, because they know they're oppressed and they hopeless. And if they can go get some type of hope out of this psychic, then they will pay for that. But if this person was real next door, everyone would be lined up asking for the goddamn lotto numbers. It would be all so simple. You a psychic, you know the future. Somebody said, oh man. I think what they said, somebody called the psychic and they let the phone ring and how does it go? They called the psychic and they said, who is this? You know what I mean? It's like, why the hell did you do that? Like, you should know. You know what I'm saying? Why you let the phone ring? You know what I mean? You should have already known I was calling. You know what I mean? This is garbage. But that's what it's all about, making money off of oppressed people. This is why these things are illegal in our nation. All right, the superstition, all those things come along with it. Salakia. All right, let's drop that. Let's go to First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41. Baba Kashah. We're gonna get us 8:35. Let's keep it moving. Man. What's I in Christ for Mawakan, man? Your brother hand again, man. Y'all brothers be up here talking. I was losing my goddamn mind, man. I need y'all brothers to, you know what I'm saying? Incorporate. You know what I'm saying? The trooper said, I'm waiting to become an officer before I start talking. The young man said, I'm waiting to become a trooper before I start talking. You know what I'm saying? First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41.
This is the book of First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41.
Right.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Right. So this King Antiochus, He figured out this thing called Hellenization is very powerful. You want to take over a people, then culture is the best thing that you can do to take over a people. It's not weaponry. It's not, killing people. The culture can destroy a nation of people way quicker than any other weapon you can. And once again, this is why this nation loves to control the media. They have to have Hollywood. They have to have the music industry. They have to have all these things, social media, TikTok, technology. We talking about that, like the Bay Area being the center of the culture. We, especially come from the Bay, we feel like, man, everybody follows us and bites our stuff. We don't never get no credit for it. You go into that Bohemian Grove, you start looking into those things. The Bohemians were the artists. The Bohemians were the journalists. The people are part of the media. So the journalists, the artists, the political figures are going to this grove, worshiping these gods, Baal, and coming up with plans on how to come back and destroy the people. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of that funneled down into the Bay Area. You got hippie culture, you got drug culture, you got homosexual culture. Come on now. All these things centered in San Francisco, where the Church of Satan popped up in 1966 all of a sudden. Anton LaVey. So then you get all these things going on in here, and then they influence everyone in this area. It's like the experiment ground for what's going to go to the rest of the country. They say as California goes, so goes the nation. So in the 1980s, San Francisco was known for the LGBT community. That was crazy and weird. And then as you slowly get to the future, look at the whole world. You know what I'm saying? It's not too much different. You know what I mean? From San Francisco in the 80s, this is just normal everywhere. Atlanta, even Texas, Florida, everywhere is become the norm. But they started this thing here in the Bay Area, and that's from these men going to these groves, coming up with these plans. And I was talking to ICR about that. Like, they get this experiment here, then they take it to LA, and they promote it to the rest of the country through Hollywood. And then they see everyone starts going along with the things that they start a lot of times here. You know what I mean? But we get caught in this mix and not knowing that a lot of this stuff is manipulation. So this guy, Antiochus, back in the days, was the first one to start figuring this out. You can control the culture, you can control the people. So he said we should all be as one nation. Read that part again. Mm-hmm.
Start at verse 41.
Yep.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
That all should be what?
All should be one people.
One nation under God, indivisible. That's America, the melting pot. Everything they talk about is that everyone comes to America. We should all be one. And guess what? The same thing back then. We all got to be one, but one under who? One under what? It didn't say let's be one and we're going to be East Indian, one and we're going to be Arab. No, we're going to be one and we all going to be Greek. We're going to be one and we're going to celebrate Zeus and Jupiter. We're going to be one and do what the Greeks do. You're going to come to America. We're going to be one, but we all celebrate Halloween. We're going to be one, but we all celebrate Christmas. Whether you East Indian, whether you Muslim, whether you goddamn Japanese, Chinese, you find your way celebrating Christmas. You find your way celebrating Halloween. You find your way celebrating every holiday under the sun that America wants you to be, because that shows you who's in charge. What culture is running the show is the culture that's in charge. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his slogan. And everyone should leave his law.
Right. When I was a kid, East Indian women used to walk around with the dot. You don't see that no more. East Indian, I mean, you do, but it ain't like not all of them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them is dressed just like other American women. A lot of them, when I was a kid, you used to see them in the back seat. Y'all remember that? The East Indian woman riding, she in the back seat for some reason. Now, it's not like that as much. These young East Indian women that are Americanized, they act just like all the other American women. You know what I'm saying? It's because they are doing this right here. You got to leave your old way. Chinese women leave that way. Japanese women leave that way. Arab women, they trying to break them. Take that hijab off, please, 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 please. The white woman, white man, everybody could just take it off. You know what I mean? You know how they do? They talk about Dave Chappelle when he was in the Hollywood, and they like, just put on a dress, and somebody leave, somebody else come back. But Dave, it's not that big of a deal. Are you homophobic? Why won't you put on a dress? And no, I'm not putting on a dress. Then the next later, then they get somebody else closer to him. I'm your manager, Dave. This would be good for your career if you just put on a dress. You know what I'm saying? We'll get more roles and make more money. I mean, you know what I mean? That's what they're doing to the Arab woman. They like, please turn into a whore. Just please, you know what I'm saying? Just get on board. Stop putting this hijab on. I seen somebody today with a hijab on. I'm like, she got on tights in a hijab. I'm like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? This is it's 6'7". So I can go ahead. Shit don't make no sense. You crossing the thing up, man. That's what they've been trying to do. Leave your old ways and come do the new way that we're doing. Keep going.
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
To his what?
To his religion.
So his culture and his religion go hand in hand. Read.
And sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath.
Right. And so now let's get up this word. It's called syncretism. If somebody can look it up on Wikipedia, I'm gonna put it up on the screen over on this side. We're gonna go down the rabbit hole of a few things about this word. You know, the first time I heard about it was learning about voodoo in the ancient, I mean not the ancient, but the Haitian people. Has anybody ever heard this word before? Okay. Right. Like music and dancing and stuff like that. It's very similar in this thing. Anybody find it yet? It's SYNCRET. Find it on Wikipedia and go into it. Yep. If you want to, I could have sent the link to you. I should have sent it to you, but
I got AI.
No. We're gonna go inside of this on Wikipedia specifically. What I got ready.
Go.
Yeah.
Syncretism is the practice of combining different beliefs and various schools of thought.
Right.
Syncretism is when certain elements, features, and components of a religion are incorporated and absorbed into another religion or faith.
Right.
It directs some sort of difference in both religions.
Right. So basically, it says the Africans, or not African, obviously we know the Israelites, but they brought these voodoo culture from Africa to Haiti. They believe in this god called Ogun. But then the Catholics teaching you Christianity, so then they still want to worship Ogun, so they start calling him the Lord. And then they want to still worship this female goddess, whatever, they turn it to the Virgin Mary. So when you go into the house, they have an idol of the Virgin Mary, but in their mind, they're worshiping this other goddess. In their mind, this means that. So they synchronized the two and hid the other religion underneath the other one. So this is what the Romans did. They said, oh, we celebrate the winter solstice on December 25th. You want to say that we follow Christ and we're Christians? Let's put the two together. We'll hide out as Christians, still celebrating our God from the old religion. If you want to get these Romans to convert to being Catholic, you have to give them the same culture they've been doing. That's what Halloween is. The Celts used to celebrate this pagan holiday every year. You got to give them Halloween and put Hallows Eve, which is Christianity, on top of it and make a new day. You still get this, our bargain. You want to follow this? Okay, then you can do the same thing. We're just going to call it something different. Go ahead, up.
It's like it's a reach.
Okay, go ahead.
But I just today was reading on Ogun and Osun.
Hmm.
That nigga, that rapper who made the 6'7" shit,
Wow.
worships these guys.
Oh man, it always comes back to 6'7".
He worships those guys.
I believe it.
He's a Palo Santo. That's his
Yeah.
religion that he
Right.
believes in, which has a direct correlation to Halloween and
Damn.
the way that they dress up.
Damn.
So, and they're saying this 6'7" thing means nothing. What if every time you say 6'7"?
Oh man, now he about to.
You worship
Damn. Oh man, now my whole class. We gotta take the whole class down. I'm sorry, I'm here worshiping Satan now. He even said 6'7" 3 times. Yeah, who knows? It could be, but yeah, exactly. They trying to blend in. It's definitely a reach out, but it's probably, you never know. You look more into that. All these cats are getting into that Ogun and voodoo. They think they're going back to the old ways because they're told that the oppressor stopped us from doing it. You know what I mean? And it's really the same thing. All right. But let's go. Let's keep going. This is this part. This part is important. Like I said, we're going to go down the rabbit hole of this thing. If y'all are in it, you can look at it or follow through, but we're just going to keep reading. So read the next sentence.
Oh, God. Syncretism involves the merging or assimilation of several originally discrete traditions,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the theology and mythology of religion,
Mm-hmm.
thus asserting an underlying unity and allowing for an inclusive approach to other faiths.
Right. So that's another thing. All those things sound very American. Inclusivity, unity. You understand? This is the same thing that he was talking about in Maccabees, assimilation. So click on the word assimilation. That's what I said. When I started going down this rabbit hole, it starts to really show you, it starts revealing what happened to us to get to this point. Go ahead.
Like, so heavy what you're bringing out, like the syncretism, because that's the whole idea of Christianity.
Right.
Is syncretism.
Exactly.
So that's just the heavy thing that you're bringing out. I just appreciate you.
Most High in Christ, man. Most High in Christ, man. You know what I mean? Barakatah Yahweh Shai for the men above me, you know what I'm saying? And bringing these different things and going down and doing this research in the history of Halloween and all these different things that we don't just say we don't celebrate Halloween because we scared of ghosts or because we think it's some weird demonic force. I know a nigga's gonna die tomorrow night in Oakland. You know what I'm saying? I know somebody's gonna die in San Francisco, in LA, in Chicago, and their life could have been saved by not celebrating Halloween. That's logical. That's what? Practical knowledge. You understand? You can practice this and save someone's life by not being a part of these evil people's culture. Because it has nothing to do with the actual day. It has to do with their culture and them dominating you. And this is what we get. So religious assimilation, we're going to keep going down this rabbit hole a little bit. But yep.
I got the definition of
no, just keep clicking those words in the Wikipedia. So like I said, we're gonna go. Each one's gonna take you to something different, and we're gonna keep going down inside of these different definitions. Yep, the water.
Religious assimilation refers to the adoption of a majority
or
dominant
or who
cultures, or dominant cultures, religious practices and beliefs by a majority or
by a
minority
mm-hmm.
or subordinate culture.
Right. So what is that saying? Somebody explain what that just said. Go ahead up.
Like basically religion that most people believe in, kind of incorporating the lesser religions that people, or more separate religions that people might believe in, incorporating their culture into the dominant one?
Not quite. So assimilation means coming together. We're gonna go to that word too next. Cultural assimilation. Assimilation means coming together, but religious assimilation is when the dominant, it says majority or dominant culture, which would be the white man's culture today in America, and religious practices and beliefs by minorities' subordinate culture. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're the minority. They're the dominant culture. We take on their culture. We take on their religion. We take on their beliefs because they dominated us, and we follow these things. All right. So keep going. Religious. Okay. Yeah.
It is an important form of culture assimilation. Religious assimilation includes the religious conversion.
Mm-hmm.
Includes the religious conversion of individuals from a minority faith to the dominant faith.
Right. And keep one more part. This is important.
It can also include the religious indoctrination of children into a dominant religion by their converted parents.
Right. So now you indoctrinate the children into this religion because the parents have been converted. Now go up to cultural assimilation and click on that and read that one. We'll go, like I said, I went down this rabbit hole. I'm like, God damn, this is heavy.
Cultural assimilation is the process in which a minority group or culture comes to resemble a society's majority group or fully adopts the values, behaviors, and beliefs of another group.
Now pause that and go back to verse 41. You know what I'm saying? In Maccabees. This is what Antiochus and the Babylonians have been working on. The Egyptians, they've been mastering these things for years and years and years and years and created a monster called America. America got this down to a science. They didn't have social media. They didn't have movies. They didn't have music on a mass scale that can influence. Literally, they call it social media. You want to control the masses? Control the media. You want to control society? Control the media. Build a place called the internet in the Bay Area, in the tech industry, create a messed up culture that promotes transgender and promotes this and that and feminism and blah, 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 and boo, blah, 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 blah. Getting high on drugs and popping pills and taking this and doing that and pimping and hoeing. All of that is getting mastered right here. And there's no irony that the tech industry is right up the street. It doesn't make sense that the rest of the world is becoming like the Bay Area and the culture here and the tech industry is right up the road. They know that if you want to control the people, you got to control the culture. You get them on one page, you don't never have to pick up nothing. You go to your school and tell your son, yeah, you shouldn't put on a dress. Nah, I've been getting indoctrinated every day. They've been telling me that it's okay, that this is right. You're going to literally physically fight your son to tell him that it's wrong to believe in this because they know if you put this in their mind, then this is what you'll get. Read it again, Salakia. Is somebody raise their hand? Did I miss? Go ahead, Doc.
So just to add on to what you're saying is heavy, sir. Is there possible that they have passed down a book that we do not know about, that the details of how to do these things?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Necronomicon and the Evil Dead.
No, okay. I don't know what you've been studying. We're gonna put hands on the brother after class. And we ain't talking about in the Christian way. We're just gonna really rough them up. You know what I'm saying? You bringing in all types of books we ain't never heard of. Ogun, he did 6-7 his way into. Salaki. I'm messing with the brother. But yeah, I've never yet. Is there? I believe so. You know what I'm saying? That they have some information, whatever it is, they passing it down to these people, like I said. And it's also just them studying history. This is why they have a thing called Egyptology. They created a whole goddamn field of study to study ancient Egypt. You know what I mean? Like you can become a sociologist, a psychologist, you can become a chemist, you can study Egypt only and get a degree. You know what I'm saying? Because they had so much power and were able to control the children of Israel, to build up one of the greatest empires that ever been known to man. So they go into these things, they do the history, and they study Antiochus. They study Alexander the Great. They study the Greek. You know what I'm saying? They study these different men and the texts they use. So it doesn't necessarily have to be one book. All these books, all these things they pass down, they use it and formulate it and go on. Now, amongst these secret societies, is there some? Most likely. You know what I'm saying? Probably. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they probably got something that they gave to their children to use to control the world, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So like,
All right.
the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom
Mm-hmm.
that all should be one people,
Right.
and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Right. Now drop down to verse 44.
Verse 44. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and to the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land
Mm-hmm.
and forbid burnt offerings
Mm-hmm.
and sacrifice and drink offerings
Mm-hmm.
in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
Right. So they said all these things. They said they made it illegal for you to do these things. But I thought we were trying to be one. Why can't we do what we do if we coming together? He like, nah, we ain't coming together under your banner. We coming together under our banner. And then once your kids grow up and they're following the king's laws and the king's rules, and you wake up in 2025 and you go and tell black people, stop celebrating Halloween. They're like, no. Why? You know, they're going to fight you. That kid that got forced into this is going to now fight you because that culture is a part of them. That happiness from that candy in their childhood and their memory, you can't take it away from them. The parties they went to, all these good times in their mind that these heathens have put on them, you can't take it out of them because that culture is within them and they believe that it's a part of them. You know what I'm saying? So this is let's see, let's go back to the Wikipedia. Let's see. Integration cry, let's skip that part, Mosaic. Acculturation and cultural diffusion. Go down, there are various types. The second paragraph.
You said go back to
The cultural assimilation on Wikipedia. And in the second paragraph, it says there are various types of cultural assimilation. And we're going to go one more in to another definition inside of these definitions.
Slide, sir. Does it highlight it, sir?
Are you in
I'm on the
cultural assimilation? You see that? And in the there are various types, right?
There are various types of cultural assimilation, including full assimilation and forced assimilation.
Now let's go into forced assimilation. What is that?
Forced assimilation is the involuntary culture assimilation of religious or ethnic minority groups, during which they are forced by a government to adopt the language, national identity.
They gotta take your language away. Hold on, let's slow down. This is the Israelites. It was easy for these other people. Like, it's easy to take away the language of Chinese people, take away the language of Arabs, take away the language of these other nations. The Hebrew Israelites were the ones that were fighting to keep the Lashawan Kodash. Why? What's the definition of Lashawan Kodash? And nobody say it. The what? Exactly. So everything about Israel, I'm gonna ask y'all that. I want to see where y'all at with this. Why is it that we have always been a thorn in the side of our oppressor? Somebody blow my mind. You just got a hint of it. You can take the language away of the Chinese. It's hard to take away the language of the Israelites because you called it the what? So something about our culture is always a thorn in the side of our oppressor. Somebody blow my mind if they can put it together. Why is it hard? Why are we the hardest ones? Or why were we the hardest ones? Go ahead.
It's like because of God's chosen people.
You onto it. Our culture, what about our culture, is a thorn in their side. Go ahead, Malika.
If I may, you mean in every captivity that we go to, or specifically the one that we're in now?
And especially starting at this time, we're reading with Maccabees, but all these different nations, the children of Israel, they're trying to unite the world under one banner. This is the one culture that keeps getting in the way, and the hint is in that what he said, the holy tongue. Like if you go through the list, it says language, national identity, norms, mores, customs, traditions, values. I'm gonna have them keep reading, but that's forced assimilation. They have to pick up the mantle of forced assimilation with us the most, because our culture. Go ahead. Before I give it.
I'm gonna go ahead and say because Most High left a remnant of us to follow our culture.
You getting close. Where does our culture come from?
Laws, statutes, and commandments.
Get it, brother, in hand. When does that change? Never. You see what I'm saying? When does that go away? Never. What does it say about the Lord? I am God, I change not. Our culture is forever. Our culture doesn't end. It comes from the Most High God. You can't stomp out this culture like you can the Chinese, because the Chinese kids gonna tell you, Mom, it's 2025. The East Indian, it's 2020. This is what we do. Our culture changed. We part of that. We doing this. We own that. The children of Israel, our culture doesn't change because it came from God.
Right.
You understand? It doesn't end. So if you want to end our culture, you're going to have to kill us. You see what I'm saying? This is the biggest threat to the empire, because these are the only people that believe their culture comes from something greater than them. Go ahead back and read. Forced assimilation, where it says, during which they are forced by the government to adopt what?
During which they are forced by a government to adopt the language.
So get rid of that language, Lashawan. Read.
National identity.
You are not an Israelite. You have to call yourself a Greek. We read that in Maccabees. You can no longer profess yourself to be a Jew at all. Read.
Norm.
Oh, it's normal for a man to be with a woman in Israel. It's normal not to kill your brother. It's normal not to eat pork. It's normal not to eat shrimp. Nah, that's wrong now. Everything that's normal to you, you got to get rid of it. Read. Mores, whatever. I ain't even going that word, but I kind of know, but we'll skip it for time's sake. You look up that on your own time. The customs, all those things you can't do no more. Keep reading.
Tradition.
Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread. You understand? The memorial of blowing the trumpets. All these traditions, they outlawed now. Illegal. Read. Values, family. Israelites value our family. America values money. Israelites value our tribe, our people, our nation. America values yourself, your money, your individual achievements, your education, your car, everything about you. That's the value in America. It's anti the value in our culture. Read.
Mentality.
Man, what's wrong with these kids? Read it again.
Mentality.
What's wrong with that woman? Read it again.
Mentality.
What's wrong with that man? One more time.
Mentality.
Everyone's mentality is messed up in our culture. We can't get along because everyone's mindset is different. The women can't get along with the men. The children can't get along with the adults. Everybody is in conflict because they got rid of our common mentality, which came from our culture. Keep going.
perception.
We perceive the whole world differently just by following another culture. And just sum it all up,
Way of life.
total way of life. Passover, the energy, the brothers, the sisters, the way we live is how we're supposed to be. You go to the ghetto, you go to the barrio, you go to the reservation, our way of life is fucked up. Because they forced us to assimilate to their culture. Keep reading.
And often the religion
Goddamn.
ideology
Ooh-wee.
of an established and general larger community belonging to a dominant culture.
Right. So this group makes you follow their religion, follow their ideology. They dominate you, and they do it through genocide. They do it through death, through murder, lynching, raping, maiming. They cut every limb off the young boy because he didn't want to eat pork. 7 different sons, boiled up the cauldron. Go ahead, Doc.
I wanted to just read verse 61.
Please. Please, Doc.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 61.
Mm-hmm.
And they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses.
Good
and
night.
slew them that had circumcised them.
Good night. So, given the context of that, or you want to break it down, Doc? Go ahead.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
just like what you were bringing out, like how they outlawed all this stuff, and pretty much, yeah, you were saying like our culture never ends, and if you want to offend us, you're gonna pretty much have to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much in the next verse after that, they tried to force them to eat pork, and they didn't want to eat the pork. They ended up killing them.
Right. And the kid get a brother hand. And the kids that were getting circumcised, the mothers, they start killing the babies that were circumcised. You know what that does to a mother, you know what I'm saying? Like, to have to go through that, a father, anybody, a human being, you know what I'm saying? But especially the mothers, this needs to end. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, circumcised. All right, 6 out. You know what I mean? Like, circumcised, not circumcised. My baby's still alive. You know what I mean? Let him live. Don't circumcise. Not my baby. You know what I'm saying? Eat the pork, sir. You know what I'm saying? Please. She gonna plead with you. You know what I mean? Go with what they're saying so we can live. These are the things they did. They used to divide and conquer our people because they know where to hit you where it hurts. I always say that, like, that villain in that movie that can't conquer Superman or can't beat Batman or can't beat Spider-Man because they're more powerful. What do? They always grab that woman, they grab that child, and they like, nigga, you better turn yourself in or we killing her. You didn't really beat Spider-Man. You just went for a low blow. You see what I'm saying? And this is what they did with the children of Israel. Oftentimes, they really didn't conquer us or defeat us. They had to resort to tactics that we would never do to them. You see what I'm saying? Because we had honor. We had something. We're not just soldiers. We're warriors too. The Gadites really have that spirit of a warrior, that there's a code of honor. There's certain things you just wouldn't do to win. Esau don't have that. That's not his culture. You know what I mean? Let's drop down to ethnic. This part real quick. I think that part is key, and then we can go and I think to slavery, and then we'll start closing out the class.
So I'll get back to the
To the Wikipedia. If you scroll down, and I think it says ethnic.
ethnic minority.
Yeah, it says if a state puts extreme emphasis on a homogeneous national identity. You see that, Armand? I think we're still in forced assimilation. You go to overview,
Oh, okay.
and then you go down a little bit more. It's going to say ethnic. No sweat, no sweat. Use the time. For time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and read it then. All right, no sweat. Another part that says, Blah, blah, blah. Okay, ethnic. If a state puts extreme emphasis on a homogenous, that means like one, that's where you get the word homo is like same. They got to have one national identity. It may resort, especially in the case of minorities, originating from historical foes to harsh, even extreme measures to exterminate the minority culture, sometimes to the point of considering the only alternative its physical elimination, expulsion, or even genocide. They like, if these people keep fighting us so much and they keep trying to keep their culture alive, we're just gonna have to kill them all. Who did that? Haman. You know what I'm saying? These cats and their laws are weird from us. They not listen. They keep trying to go against us. Let's just get exterminate them. You know what I'm saying? That's always their answer to fix the problem. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go down a little bit further. It drops down. I'm just gonna go to where it says North America. Enslaved Africans, which you know as black folks, Negroes, in the 16th to the 8th to the 19th centuries throughout North America, South America, and the Caribbean were forced to abandon their native languages, religion, and cultural practices. Many communities descending from these groups form traditions and linguistic dialects that still face discrimination and attempts at forced assimilation. So, once again, we're done with all the definitions. Like I said, going down that rabbit hole, you see how you get from where do we start? I think we started from synchronization. You see what I'm saying? This is, we just putting religions together. Everybody come together. It sounds harmless. Then you get into cultural assimilation. What is that? Oh, our cultures are together. Then you get to religious assimilation. Okay, our religions are together. Again, you go a little bit further, and then it's like, forced assimilation. You didn't have a choice to do this. You were forced to celebrate Halloween. You were forced to celebrate Christmas. You were forced to celebrate Easter. You were forced to celebrate New Year's. You were forced to celebrate Mother's Day. Today, niggas is forced to celebrate Valentine's Day. I've been there. That struggle of becoming an Israelite. So that first Valentine's Day is a cold one. Good night. My pants still got bleach on them. Yeah. Safe to say, I'm not with her no more, but that was in the world. You trying to take away Valentine's Day. This is a day for her. And yeah, nigga, you're going to celebrate this with me or else. Like, God damn, what part of love is that? You know what I mean? But that is so embedded in our people that we don't understand how we got to this point. And that's what they want. That's what the president wanted. He like, man, if I can get their kids and I can get them to love this thing, they will fight anybody that tries to come and take it away from them. That's genius. They'll never go to war against me. Malcolm X said, what, America? He said, this good white man, he said, the house niggas think they field niggas and it's the most house niggas ever. You so far down, you know what I mean, into it, you think you in the field and you like, nah, you gonna take away this day from me? Master said, this is what we do. And this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? So Caesar said it. Antiochus, all these men said it. Let me get one more precept. Let's go to Acts chapter 19, verse 24. I think we'll close off. I'm going to paraphrase Hosea 4 and 6. We know that one. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Like we are continuously destroyed because we don't know the key to being in charge and being dominant is culture. Now, we have a culture that never ends and we don't want to accept that culture. And then we pass on this culture to our children and it could be the same thing. Like I said, we celebrate all the time. Your kids still can celebrate. Why does it have to be the one of the people that destroyed you? No one wants to question that. And it enriches them every year. They make millions and billions of dollars on these holidays. Literally, if you're in business, the fiscal year ends after what holiday? Exactly, after Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Their whole economy they calculate when they say fiscal year is like a business year. They started over after Christmas a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Because they know this economy can be shit for 350 days, but if they close out strong in the last 30, they can reboost their economy. You know what I mean? But we take ourselves away from it. Guess what? It destroys it. But this happened in the Bible. You know what I mean? Let's go.
The book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 24.
Started at 24, I believe.
For a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, which made silver shrines for Diana, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen.
Right. So what is this saying? There was a certain man named Demetrius. He was a silversmith. He cuts and crafts silver and makes it into these shrines for Diana. Diana is a goddess. If you go and look in the roots of Diana, you probably end up back in ancient Babylon, Ishtar, one of these different goddesses that's tied into all the same things, right? So he's in this empire making these shrines to this goddess, and he brought no small gain unto the craftsmen. What does that mean in Old English? Go ahead. Yeah, he was bringing in money. It wasn't no small money he bringing in. He bringing in big money as a craftsman doing this job, right? Verse 25.
Whom he called together with the workmen of like occupation.
So he had a meeting. Everybody that sells these idols, that does silver work and craftsmen and making things for Diana and Jupiter and Venus and da-da-da-da-da, come together and we having a meeting, read.
And said, sirs, ye know that by this craft we have our wealth.
In your mind, this is just a holiday culture, kids, candy, fun, costumes, Halloween, Christmas. This is all it's about. Valentine's Day. It's just about love and coming together. Read that last part again.
And said,
Ye know
that by this craft we have our wealth.
We got rich off of making these idols. We got money off of selling that white Jesus chain. How many niggas got the Jesus piece? How many people got the cross? How many people got that virgin candle in the Latino community? Imagine the people that sell those candles. If they don't worship the Virgin Mary, they're going out of business. That's mussing up their money. You know what I'm saying? This ain't got nothing to do with no religion. This ain't got nothing to do with having fun. This is about money. Read.
Whom he called together.
No, verse 26.
Moreover, ye see and hear that not alone at Ephesians.
This just didn't happen in Ephesians. When we write into the Ephesians, something's going on over in Ephesians. Read.
But almost throughout all Asia.
All over this area. Read.
This Paul.
This who? Read it slow. This nigga Paul. Keep going.
Hath persuaded and turned away much people.
Good night. Paul was on the grind. Paul was holding it down for the truth. He's messing up their pockets. He's getting so many people to come into the truth. They talking about one man. Paul is putting in so much work that they are losing money because of him. You know what I'm saying? Read.
Saying that they be no God.
He's telling these people this idol, Diana, don't exist. Christmas doesn't exist. That's the worship of, what is Christmas again? I don't remember which one. It might be, they always Mithras or one of them. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Tammuz or it's so okay. But they got different gods for these. Ishtar, we know Easter. You know what I mean? He's saying Ishtar don't exist. Hera? Nimrod. There you go. Yeah, Nimrod. That's right. Nimrod. Exactly. He's saying that Nimrod don't exist. He's saying that the Halloween is Celtic culture. Y'all know which team follows the Celts, right? What team is that? You just got to rate him. Celtics, right? You know what I mean? Does anybody know about the fan base of the Celtics? They racist as hell. This bunch of drunk Irish men that hate niggas with a passion. They damn near don't like the niggas on the team playing for them. Am I making it up? Look at Bill Russell. That nigga won 10 rings for the Boston Celtics, and they hated that nigga. They loved him when he won the game, but after that, I think he was married to a white woman. They were sending death threats to him. They booing, throwing stuff at him. They hated Bill Russell. You know what I'm saying? The Celtics, that's where Halloween comes from. Imagine if they're that savagery, a bunch of Mike Wahlbergs. Y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Imagine 5 million Mike Wahlbergs, you know what I mean? Drunk as hell, hating niggas in the middle of the night, frat boys, raping women. That's where Halloween comes from. That's their culture. And we do not want to give it up, all right? But we start coming out and telling people, this is not that. This don't exist. This is wrong. Keep going.
Which are made with hands.
Right. These things are made with hands. This is an idol. This is not a God. It has no power. Go ahead.
Verse 27. So that not only this, our craft is in danger to be set at naught.
Right. It has nothing. It's a craft, but it's a business. Our business is going to be over if this keeps going. Keep going.
But also that the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worship.
And so let me see. I don't think we might get skipped down, but you know, if if anything, just knowing business, the mafia, drug game, somebody taking away from your money, what you gonna do? Gotta go. That's what they putting out hits on Paul after that. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
I was just to add on to that, it's heavy that what you're saying, what you're bringing out, because I was just getting off of work, walking down the street, and they were having this big old parade at this church, and it was a bunch of Issacharites. Obviously, it was like a Catholic church or something, and they had all this parade thing going on. I don't know what was going on, but literally on the side of the parade, they were selling like Saint Mary T-shirts and stuff like that, trying to profit off of these little idols. Or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's very big, man. Like I said, there's so many different things that they make big money off of these, these industries. It's been historical. And that's why, like I said, it's easy to see it when it's like the Buddhists. Everyone believes that little Buddhist thing is an idol. And it's, when you go into the Chinese store, they sacrifice to an idol. But no one puts the Christian cross as the same thing. No one puts that Jesus piece as the same thing. They don't realize that the Christian church is making the most money with the Virgin Mary candles and all these things that people use and to worship these gods. And it's really just big business. And the reason why is the last thing I'll say, and we'll close out. The reason why people buy these crystals and buy these crosses and buy whatever is because it's easy to serve that kind of God. All I got to do is buy a crystal and I'm good. Sign me up. Tell me I got to stop eating pork, shrimp, and being a whore and selling dope. And you know what I'm saying? That don't sound like the Lord to me. Something wrong with you. You preaching hate. I got to do something. I got to go help people and feed people and clothe. That's a lot. Just tell me where I can buy a cross, do a couple of Hail Marys, get something, you know what I mean? And God love me, I'm going to heaven? Yeah, dip me in some water. That's it. I love that. I remember General Hyman said, he said, man, Juliana just started selling out little napkins or something for blessings. You know what I'm saying? We can fill this school up. He told him, man, I used to smoke weed. And General Rihanna gave me this napkin, $75. I don't smoke weed no more. There would be 50 people up in here. You know what I'm saying? Like this, people want something simple to do that you can buy and you can be saved. You know what I mean? Y'all seen it though. There was a dude on BET used to be selling them little napkins. I forgot little towels or something. Was it a towel or was it water? It was the water he was selling, huh? Yep. I think it was a rag too. Don't give me. I mean, it was a rag at one point. It was selling like a rag too, I believe. It was both, but it was definitely water. He looked, God. Yep. But that's what's been going on. There's nothing new under the sun. That's what these holidays are. So, long story short, I mean, the Lord said, "Don't do it." Our culture don't end. We can't change the culture. Go ahead. We always going to be a thorn in their side because our laws come from something bigger than us, and that is eternal. And that's why being an Israelite is the most offensive culture to our oppressor. Go ahead, Doc.
Sorry, sir, for water, sir, if I may. What you're bringing out is like exceptionally so heavy, just because like you're talking about the syncretism of the culture and how the Christian church is completely made up of syncretism, of believing in these Greek belief systems and adding it to the Bible.
Right.
Like these things that are clearly not biblical. That's
like crazy to me.
That's what people like. They have questions about the Bible, something that's clearly non-biblical,
right?
That we accept because of the Christian dogma of the assimilation that we accepted. And it's just like that, just showing that, or so like a certain. So what is it? So what is the real reason actually behind that? Behind them accepting that dogma to the end, when you can clearly see, because even like being in the Christian church myself, I remember like questioning why we have the Christmas tree,
right.
Why we have this, but what is the spirit behind
the majority of people that don't want to let it go?
That's
This is the one.
I understand, but like, what is it though? Like, what makes it so that they don't want to get rid of the Halloween?
So it's two things. It's a couple of things. For one, like I said, it's very simple. If you can serve a God that doesn't demand anything of you. If I can do a God that doesn't have any rules for me, that's the God for me. You know what I mean? So people are going to gravitate to something that's not going to have them change. You know what I mean? So I can just do the same things and there's no rules. I can be a whore. I can be a pimp. I can be whatever. God still loves me. Then I'm with that. You start telling me I can't do this, I can't do that, something's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of it is nostalgia. The brother almost offended me the other day, Parak out in Arizona. He was like, Tupac is not that great. It's just nostalgia from the 90s that you like. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, crazy. But in some essence, now Edomite told me about that about Michael Jordan. I wanted to slap him after slavery. He was like, people think he's the greatest because of nostalgia. I'm like, I seen this nigga jump from the free throw line. Like, this is not, I don't know where you wanted this nigga doing things underneath. Like, how are you going to take away from Michael Jordan? Like, how the hell is nostalgia? That's the most least nostalgia. I could understand, like, with, music, because it's subjective, but it's like, this is damn near objective. Like, he got 6 rings under. Anyway, I digress. They want to put it on nostalgia because it really is a very powerful thing. So you having Christmas as a kid, the nostalgia of you being a child feels good to remember that feeling of not worrying about bills, never having an abortion, never, you know what I'm saying, gotten the STD, never, been shot at, all the things when you was a kid, life was great. That was a good time for you. You know what I mean? And Christmas came along when it was the best day of the whole goddamn year for you. Your birthday was the second best day. You know what I'm saying? Halloween was the third best. Easter was the fourth. The best days you can remember in your childhood were these holidays. So now the nostalgia of you experiencing this time with your family and seeing your auntie on Thanksgiving and getting food, watching the football game, watching the parade, all of those things are a part of your childhood. That feeling that you felt of joy, you taking away this day, you're taking a piece of me away. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to lose your life or identity. That's why the culture goes all in hand in hand. This culture is so much a part of you that if you take this away, then who are you? You don't even know who you are anymore. That's why people, they say, oh, if you come to truth, women are going to use this big on you. Oh, you trying to change me. Yes. I'm not trying to change you, though. I'm trying to free you. Commander Johanna said that in the class. He was battling on campus back in the days. And the sister was a lesbian. And he was telling her, like, she needs to do this and do that. She's like, you trying to change me? He's like, I'm not trying to change you. I'm trying to free you. I said, God damn, that's heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think if you start cutting off the things that I've been grown accustomed to, then you're taking away who I am as a person. And I don't even know who I am outside of these days anymore. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, I saw your hand.
So, sir, if I may, what you're saying is so heavy because it's pretty much people that are in that. It's like my train of thought.
No sweat. He's taking it away, like you said, why is it they don't want to give up these things?
Right. So again, do you think that is like directly related to how our holy days are directly related to sacrifice? How everything that we have to go through when we sacrifice for Passover, Hanukkah, Day of Atonement, compared to their holidays, which are pretty much just trying to feel good.
Correct me if I'm like misunderstanding what you're saying, but our holidays are attached to feeling good too. Like brotherhood, sisterhood, families, the children are gonna remember Passover and we're gonna remember a good time too. It's just ours. You know what I'm saying? It's not used to abuse us, it's used to uplift us. But there is a part of it that is not just a pure consumer culture. You know what I mean? Like for yourself, like the American holidays are. So to that point, you're right. Like America makes it about you and buying and purchasing, and our days are really not focused on that. But the family aspect, and there is a different form of feeling good that comes with it. It's just not like a bought thing. You know what I mean? That we don't really give gifts out like birthdays and Christmas and giving out candy. Like it's all about, you know what I mean? You're purchasing someone's love, and that is you're right. Like our culture doesn't do that, and they take advantage of that because if you broke, then you don't got no love and you don't have no value, and they're instilling that. So if you need to get the love of Christmas through gifts and giving gifts, you better get some money by any means necessary. You got to rob, kill, steal something, sell dope, but don't come to Christmas to your kids with nothing in your hand, or they're not gonna love you. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna have a good year. You know what I'm saying? If you don't bring that on their birthday or Valentine's, nothing you've done matters, and that is important to this culture to breed selfishness, greed, lust, and doing anything to get possessions.
That's really what I meant by the feel good was that the emotions have like greed and lust during these times. It's like all of their holidays are focused around that specific.
For sure.
Whereas our holy days, not that they're ruling or like a
sacrifice, but you did say sacrifice, right? Like it.
When I say sacrifice, I'm saying it loosely, I guess. Whereas I'm not meaning like it's a hard thing to do, but it's a sacrifice to have to be able to go to Jerusalem.
Right.
It's a sacrifice to have to go through the process of going through Hanukkah, working in the UPK.
Right.
But I'm saying like the difference between our days and their days, they're fully focused on the feel good or like they're focused on the selfish aspect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where we're focused on everybody else, which is what I mean by sacrifice.
Right. And another key just to add on to the last point is that they purchase that happiness. It's all about you got to buy something you got to buy this suit or outfit to enjoy Halloween. You got to buy the candy to do that. If you want to buy Captain Zar's oils at Passover, you can, but you don't have to. If you want to buy a shirt from a brother or a garment, you can, but you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like our thing is not tied so much into you got to purchase outside of the sacrifice to get there. And even that, you don't gain anything other than getting there. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, nothing is about this selfish, greedy thing. And that is so good to turn a child into a whore is Christmas and the birthdays. You know what I'm saying? Valentine's. It's just, they're grooming these kids, really. How they use that word, they overuse that word, but nobody considers this is a form of grooming a very selfish race of people. Is the holidays that they celebrate in America. You know what I mean? Yeah, but we're gonna clip it for now. We way over time, but you know, we had any time outside of class, we can talk if we want to. But he said that one was a good one. Most high cry, mother. Yeah. All right. Shalom. Y'all watching me outside, brother thumb. Y'all watching y'all tomorrow. Y'all watching me outside.